Keep getting the thing to go.
Welcome to Quad V Live from the World Cyber Games 2008. We have ourselves Project Gotham Racing 4 coming up, and it is going to be a different match to the one scheduled due to some issues ongoing here. We are going to have Psykopat from Guadeloupe versus NIE from Poland, and I'm joined by the delightful Paul Red-Eyed Gentleman.
Oh, you're very kind, you sexy man.
We are away.
We are away and underway. It is a slightly different view that we're used to. They're actually going to use the on-board cam, as it were, which is slightly different. Right now, on board with NIE, who's from Poland. He's a little bit of a bounce off the third corner. They'll go through the tricky S section, climbing uphill here at around about 170k. Third gear was a little mistake in front, actually, from Psykopat, who's run a little wide here, going back into the switchbacks as they pile up the hill towards the top of the course. And he's now made another mistake, and that will allow the Polish man to stride on through and take the lead. He has an interesting story as to how he got to this World Cyber Games finals.
Well, yes, he got here. The motor racing man did not, partly courtesy of the fact that their motor wasn't racing anywhere.
Some kind of bus malfunction, unfortunately, on the way from Poland. Means that
no Polish jokes, please.
No, the man from Poland, Motorsports man, who was going to be the Polish representative in Group A of the Project Gotham Racing 4 tournament here at the World Cyber Games Finals, is no longer able to compete and is replaced by what looks like a very able-bodied player. NIE seems to be doing rather well. He
does. It's got to be said that Psykopat, from what we're seeing here, is perhaps not the strongest of challengers, particularly that turn 2 turns ago where he just went beeline straight to the wall rather than riding it. And often those wall rides that you see are very, very intentional, but sometimes when they end up spinning out, they're not so.
Yeah, they do look pretty horrific when they don't work. And we were spoiled earlier on, I have to say. Cam not having the greatest of races, but he was posting 58-second laps, and yet was absolutely thoroughly beaten by Live, who was flawless throughout that game, and he really showed you what this Quebec track can be driven like. And right now these two aren't really on the same kind of level. There's a little wall ride there at the top of turn 7, and back through the last part of the lap. He's gone through the final timing being 46.96, somewhere around about 6 seconds off the pace. So we're waiting for it to come through now. We'll see what the current time is, and it's 1 minute 0.72. So yeah, about 4.5 to 5 seconds off the pace of someone like Live or Big Boyle. So we are into the final lap though, and it is Poland that lead here. Guadeloupe, who we understand from our terrible geography, is part of the Caribbean.
Yes, most certainly. Now, also, you may have, in comparison to other racing tournaments that you've seen, collisions here are off, and you literally glide on through, as you saw back on the first lap. Makes a big difference, particularly to those who are used to having it on. But here we go, still on board with NIE, as he flies his way through, about halfway through the map now, if not a little more, and is looking good. He's got himself a 10-second advantage over his opponent, and at this point in time, we'll be looking at this as a really nice, gentle introduction to the tournament.
This is actually a better lap as well. Psykopat putting up a 46-second sector, NIE with a 43, so he comes through the final corner now, will claim victory here, and with a reasonable last lap, should be under a minute, 59.39, and NIE from Poland will pick up victory here in the second matchup of Group A at the World Cyber Games Grand Finals. And I guess that's something he can take home with him, because let's be realistic, he's not going to feature as one of the strongest drivers to qualify in this group. Only 2 go through of the 7 players that will face off in Group A.
And also, if you look at this, there's a less of an aspect of racing, more of an aspect of lap time. Yes,
absolutely.
It's speed over tactics in this type of a game.
Although I think you can say that being in an event like this, particularly for someone like